Everyone who's here, you already know this is the lead generation guide for entrepreneurs, presented by Forward Female, which is our team. My name is Gabby. We have Maddie on the call as well. And we also have one of our co-founders, Lauren Cheek, on the call here. So be sure to connect with all of us. We'll go ahead and dive in. So a few things to remember: turn your mics off and turn your cameras on. I want to see your beautiful faces, but we also want to make sure that everyone who's here to learn and here to listen can hear the presentation. But I would love it if your cameras were on so I can look at your gorgeous faces. And it also feels like I'm actually talking to people when we're doing Zooms, and not like I'm just kind of talking out into the void. And then remember to always put any questions in the chat box. We will have time for Q&A at the end, but there will be little pauses, I think, where we can answer a few questions here and there too. So always write them in, and Maddie will kind of keep an eye on the chat. Cool. All right. So I want you to drop it in the chat. So first of all, your Instagram profile link, and a little bit about you. I want everyone to be able to connect after our time together today. We're all about networking here, and we're all about making connections, and you're all here for similar reasons, which means you have to have something in common. So I want you all to drop that Instagram profile, follow each other, stay connected, because this is a great space to network too. And then I want you to also drop your goals out of this hour together. So why did you show up today? What is the big thing that you want to learn, you want to take away from this workshop, and put it in the chat. If I had to guess, a couple of them might be, you're like, Krista, you're just here to learn, soak in as much knowledge as you can. Maybe you have a business, but you're not a business idea, but you're not sure how to really get it off the ground. Maybe you have a business and the revenue is a little inconsistent. Maybe it's a side hustle and you're trying to make it your main gig. Or maybe you're just ready to take your business to the next level, generate some new leads, and and just really skyrocket, which is exciting. No matter where you are, we are here for you. So if you don't know us, if you don't know me, my name is Gabby. I am the marketing director and coach here at the Forward Female. I specialize in strategy building for small businesses, really to help them just get in front of their ideal audience and work on that brand awareness factor. I've been with Forward Female since 2021. And if you don't know about the Forward Female, we are a coaching and creative agency. We're dedicated to helping women start and grow businesses. And we do that through our digital community, which not many of you, I think, are on here from the community. I see a few friendly faces, but our digital community, where women can network, gain resources, share resources, connect with our full business development team, and really just have a support system throughout their entrepreneurial journey. We do coaching. So we have our business development coaching program where we help business owners either in the beginning stages of their business, really figure out those foundational elements, your business plan, and all of the things to set yourself up for success. Or you've started your business and you're looking to take it to the next level, fine tune, optimize, and really, really grow. We also do marketing coaching where I walk you through your full marketing strategy and we build it out together. And then we have our creative agency where we build the visual components, the visual story for your brand. And we do that through branding. We do that through website design and development, where we create that central home for your brand and for your business, for your ideal audience to find you. And then through marketing strategy, where we build the strategy and implement it for you. So those are all the ways that we help women, that we help business owners really grow. So if you're not following us already, follow us on Instagram. Like I said, we want to stay connected after today. Maddie's going to drop our Instagram link in the chat. You follow us, we're of course going to follow you back. And if you share that you are on this workshop with us today to your story, we'll repost you as well. Because we are all about just helping you spread your brand and gain new connections too. Cool. All right. So I want to get to know you guys a little bit better and just really kind of where you're at with your business. So I want you to share in the chat. If you have a business idea, but you're not really sure if anyone's interested. Like I said, you're kind of at this ideation stage and you're really trying to test out the waters. Drop a 2 in the chat if you currently have a business, but you're struggling with that consistent revenue. Like I said, maybe it's a side hustle and you really want to dive headfirst and make this your full-time job. Or you just have a business, you have consistent revenue, but you're ready to take it to that next level. So drop a 3 in the chat. If you're ready to take it to the next level, you want to figure out what new lead funnels you can incorporate in your business. And then drop a 4 in the chat if the whole idea of lead generation just is foreign, you're not really sure what it means, no matter where you are in your business, you're just not really sure how to go about the lead generation process.
Getting a couple 2s and 3s, and
2s and 3s.
a couple 4s.
Okay, cool.
Couple 1s as well. I got a little of everything.
A little of everything. So we're a good mixed bunch here. But like I said, no matter where you are, which of these numbers resonated with you, or maybe you're kind of somewhere in between, I am hoping that you will walk away today with some tangible, actionable items that can help you get to your business goals and really start bringing in those new leads. It's all about understanding the whole process from start to finish, what each section is, which we'll really dive into, because that's what's going to help you, that deep understanding, and then applying it to your business. So now that I've gotten to know you a little bit better, I am going to take you from left side Kelly Kapoor to right side Kelly Kapoor after our time together. And if you don't watch The Office, part of your homework is to watch The Office because she's my favorite. And she is the business bitch. Alrighty. Before we go ahead and really, really dive into the meat of it all, I want you to take a moment and pause. This is a great phrase that we use so often here at the Forward Female, coined by our co-founder, Lauren, who's on this call. She's got so many great wise words that she shares with us. And so power in the pause is important because we're taking a step back before we dive into everything and just really getting clear on why we're here. So take out a pen and a notebook or piece of paper or something. And I want you to set your intentions. So why did you show up today? What are you hoping to get out of our hour together? What are you hoping to help your business with? What is this going to do for your business? Why are you here? Let's get in that mindset of being intentional with this hour together. Let's make sure that your brain is in the right headspace to absorb the knowledge, and really be able to then apply it after our call. Because we can be here, we can show up and pat ourselves on the back, and I do applaud you for being here. But it's important to be intentional with this time too, and really know why you're here. After you've identified and set your intentions, I want you to identify your limiting beliefs. This one is scary and it doesn't feel good, but our limiting beliefs, what is it that's holding us back? What mindset? Do we feel like we're struggling with where we're at with our business? Does it make us feel like we are not confident in ourselves? Is that imposter syndrome creeping in? Do you feel like we're not good enough, like not talented enough, we don't know enough? What are those limiting beliefs that you're feeling right now? And then I want you to get rid of them. We're getting rid of these limiting beliefs. We are here for a reason, and I'm here to tell you that you are enough, that you do have what it takes, that you should be confident in yourself, And I know all of this because you did show up here, because you are being intentional with your time, because you're choosing to do something to grow your business, to grow your mindset, to grow yourself. So we're taking those limiting beliefs and we're chucking them out the window before we get started. And then I want you to visualize your highest self. So what does your highest self look like? Who is she or he? I noticed we have some gentlemen on the call today. Who is that person? What are they doing? Are they confident? They're confident. The money's coming in, the revenue streams are there. They've got lead funnels out the yin yang and they're relaxing. Maybe they're with friends and family. Maybe they are on an island sipping a margarita. Who is your highest self? Where are they? How do they feel? Because I want you to embody that highest version of yourself right now in this hour together, because your highest self is not as far away as you think. It's already within you. You are already those things. So tap into that during this call, visualize it, and then be present here as if you're already that, because you are. Okay, now that we've let go of the bad vibes and are only soaking up the good vibes, we're going to go ahead and dive into some lead generation. So first and foremost, we need to understand what lead generation even is. So it's the process of warming up potential customers. So taking someone from a stranger all the way through to being a customer or client, and then through to being your brand champion and raving fan. So it's taking them through the process, converting them into leads, customers, and then they're going to tell their mom, dad, brother, dog, and uncle all about you and your business. So with that, we need to understand what a lead is. So it's anyone who has indicated interest in your product, your service, your brand, anyone who has even remotely an interest. Maybe they're following you on Instagram and they like all of your posts, they comment on them. Maybe they're subscribed to your newsletter. Those are leads. Those are the people that you want to convert. They're interested. So we need to be able to identify who is a lead and who isn't in order to know and target those people to take them through this process. So I hope that makes sense. So the goal with lead generation is to generate interest, really. It's that brand awareness factor for part of it, generate organic interest to your target audience. And then the second half of that goal is to really provide them with a lot of value. So they need to see the value in what you do in your business, your brand, your product, service, how you're going to help them. They need to see that value in order to make those purchase decisions. So think about a brand that you are like a ride or die for. You love them. Maddie on our call, she loves Skims. She is a ride or die for Skims. And Skims did it because they provided a product and a brand that she finds a lot of value in. And that value comes from identifying her pain points. So her needs, her wants, the things that she wants out of a clothing brand, a shapewear brand, loungewear, all of the things that Skims does. They've targeted her need, her want, her pain point, and then they've provided a product slash, the service, the experience that has kept her coming back time and time again. So that's what we want to do. We want to take them through the same process that Skims has taken Maddie, to then become a raving fan of your brand. So in order to get clear on this and know your value and how you're going to display that value, there's some questions that you should ask yourself first. So we'll start with, what are my objectives? So what is your big goal out of your business, out of lead generation? What do you want to get out of it, right? So I'll give you an example and we'll get to it at the end too. We kind of walk through the forward female process and how we go through the whole lead generation funnel. But for example, for our community, our digital online community, our objective is to increase our membership. So we want to increase the numbers of our membership, and that's the goal. That's the objective. We get more specific when we go down the line, when we think about our KPIs. Well, how many people do we want to bring in? That's all great to know. But for right now, what we're starting with is, what is your overall objective? So for us, our community is to increase our membership. That's our objective. That's why we're putting out lead funnels. That's why we're trying to bring people into this process, because we overall want to increase the membership. There's more that comes with it, but we're just keeping it simple for now. The next question you want to ask yourself is, who is the customer I'm trying to attract? So who is that ideal client, that ideal person that is going to be like Maddie is with Skims? They're going to love your brand. They're going to become a raving fan. They need your product. They want your product or your service. So who is the customer I'm trying to attract? Give them a full profile. What do they like? Where are they? Really get clear on that. The next question you want to ask yourself is, what could I offer them that would prove my value to them? This is a good one. What can you offer them to prove your value to them? So, besides your product or service, what else is out there? What else can you provide to prove your expertise, to show that you are unique and different, to show that your product is great, your service is great? What is it? How are you going to prove your value, prove your unique factor to them? So I'll tell you another example from us right now. Here is an offer that we've provided to prove that we know what the heck we're talking about. So you are on this call, this free workshop to learn, yes, and to provide value, yes, because our mission is to help women start and grow businesses. And if you can have things that are aligned with that, they should be. But also, this proves a little bit of our value, so long as you like what I'm saying. But this proves our value. You know, we are saying we are an expert in helping women start and grow businesses, and we know what we're talking about because here we are. We're talking to you and explaining lead generation process. So this is an example. Of course, you have to like what I'm saying. Of course, this has to be good. Your product has to be good. Your service has to be good. Because you could do all of the marketing in the world, but your lead funnel will stop at client or customer if you don't have a good product or service. So you want them to get into that raving fan. You need those reviews. You want people to be talking and shouting your name from the rooftops, because that's what makes this process easier and easier as you grow too. So what can you offer them to prove your value? This also looks like freebies. What free incentive can I give to them? What can I do to show my value? Next, where are they hanging out? Where are they? Digitally or in real life? Are they at the coffee shop up the road? Are they attending particular events? Are they on TikTok, on Instagram? What are they doing on those platforms? How are they showing up in those platforms? And here's a hint, you need to be in all of those same spaces. So wherever you identify that your target audience is showing up, that is exactly where you should be showing up too. You have to meet your audience where they are, because it would be great if they all just came to you and life would be so easy, but you really also have to do the work to show up in those same spaces and be where they are, so they can't not know about your brand. And then the fifth question you should ask yourself is, what information do they need to make a decision? So what do they need to know about your business, to know about your brand, to then say, I have to work with them. I have to have this product. I have to be a part of what they're doing. So what information is necessary to make that decision, to switch their brain into that is worth the money? We assign value to different things. Everyone assigns value in different ways. So $100 on, a pair of sweatpants versus $100 on a dinner versus $100 on whatever else. Everyone is going to think of those things differently and decide, is that $100 sweatpants worth it? To some people it is. To some people, I'm not paying $100 on sweatpants, right? So we need to give them the information they need to make the decision. We also need to give them the value. Here's the value of those sweatpants. It's, yeah, monetarily $100, but they're so soft and cozy, and they're thick, and they're super stylish. And so all of these things have to work together to help them make that decision, right? So how are they going to make the decision on that $100 pair of sweatpants? You have to convince them. You have to show them why it's unique and different and worth $100, right? So these are great questions to ask. If you haven't written them down, take a picture real quick before I move on. So I think it's really important that you take time to dive into all of them and get really clear on all of them too. So this is the lead generation process that I have been talking about, and we'll break it down even more, but we'll kind of do this overview real quick. So we want to attract them initially, right? So they start as a stranger, and we want to bring them into your audience to see what you're doing, see what you're up to, and basically so that they can see more of what you're doing, right? So then audience to a lead is that a little bit of a conversion. So once they convert to a lead, that means that they're no longer just kind of creeping on what you're doing and looking around, or they've seen your posts a few times. They've actually shown interest, taken an action to some degree to show you that they are interested in what you have to offer. Next, we're going to close them. So we're going to take that warm lead and we're going to convert them into a client, a customer, purchaser, whatever it might be. From there, we want to impress them. We want to do a great job. We want to have a great product, a great service, great communication, and turn them into that champion. So then we can start the cycle all over again, and they tell somebody else to follow you on Instagram, and then that person is already impressed. They're already interested. So then they become a lead and a client a little bit quicker than you kind of manually doing it yourself, right? So this is the overall process, and we're going to go ahead and break it down into the different steps. Before I do that, are there any initial questions? I know that was kind of a lot at the beginning. Just want to check. Maddie, is there any questions in there?
Not seeing any yet, no.
Okay, beautiful. Cool, because I know there was a lot of info. So let's dive in and break it down. So step one is turning them from a stranger, they don't know your brand, they don't know your business, all the way to your audience. So they've shown somewhat of an interest in what you have to say. So this looks a lot like Instagram follower, a TikTok follower. It looks like somebody who's made it to your website, who has just done a first initial touch with your brand. So like I said, social media is a big one. Social media is at the top of the funnel or the beginning of this funnel. So many people think that social media is the converter, that I'm going to post on Instagram and then I'm going to have a ton of clients. And sometimes that happens, but a lot of times it's the tool that we use to bring them in. And it's also the tool that we use to keep them in the loop, to keep them repurchasing. So it's at the beginning and it's at the very end. And that's important to know because I want you to know that you should not only be posting on Instagram or posting on one platform and using that as your lead generation. It can be part of it, but it's not the whole thing. Especially consider with all of the talk of this TikTok ban. If your whole audience is only on TikTok and you don't have them anywhere else, and then that is out of here tomorrow, then you've just lost a lot of hard work and a lot of warm leads for your business. So you need to make sure that you have multiple things happening, right? So not just social media, I really want that to be clear. But social media is a great way to attract people, that initial touch point, blogging, keywords, SEO. So making sure your profiles are optimized for those keywords that are going to attract your ideal audience. Same with your website. It should be optimized. It should have keywords that people are going to be looking up in the Google search bar to find the exact thing that you have to offer. This also comes from networking in person or digitally. an open webinar, which is where we are today, or media placements. So having somebody write about your brand or business in an article, or you get featured in a segment, something along those lines. So this is how we convert from stranger to an audience member. Cool. Next, we want the audience member to turn into a warm lead. So they're there, they're lurking around, they're watching what we're doing. But we have to get them to actually be interested in purchasing, interested in the product or service. So this comes from, one, telling them over and over and over again what you have to offer, what you do, how you're unique, showing that value. Showing that to your audience is important, because this is what helps them make those decisions, or those considerations, I should say, because this is the consideration phase, right? So calls to action. And so if you're unfamiliar, a call to action is basically telling them what you want them to do. So if I posted about this workshop and I said, and I left a link and I said, RSVP below, that's a call to action, or book a call, that's a call to action. So we want to tell them what we want them to do, because they'll do it. It's interesting how it all works. And if you tell somebody to do something, they oftentimes click into it to at least show some interest. They're like, click here, and you're like, okay. So call to action is one of them. Forums. So a forum is getting to know your audience. I asked you all where you're at with your businesses. That's a forum. That's understanding you a little bit better. Another forum could be a survey, where you capture their email as well. So forums, landing pages, so your Instagram profile, your website, different things like that, your Linktree even, all of these different landing pages. For us too, it was our Eventbrite page, if some of you came from Eventbrite. These landing pages to convert from an audience member to a lead. A lot of times these are going to explain more about your value, explain more of what you do or what you have to offer. So these landing pages kind of generate that interest. Then we also have freebies. Who doesn't love free stuff? I sure will take anything if it's free. So what can you offer somebody that is going to show that value? Like I said, that can also be free. So is it a free forum? Is it a free guide? Is it they get a keychain with a purchase or something like that? Freebies are a great way to convert people to a lead. I'll put my email in for something free anytime, any week, any day. I will be there for the free stuff. So a lot of other people will be too. So step 3 is taking them from this warm lead, they're warm, they're snug by the fire, they're loving what you're doing, and actually turning them into a client. So closing the deal. And this comes from workflows, emails, your client relationship management systems. So workflows, by this we mean the whole process that you have set up, the whole back-end system you have set up to talk to clients or potential clients, to send them proposals, to send them brochures or a detailed description of what you have to offer, how you can help them. So having all of these back-end things in place so that it's easy. Once someone generates interest, you have the whole setup. You know how it's going to go, and you know how you're going to close them. Emails. This is great. This is your email marketing. It's also personal emails. If somebody's, hey, I see that you are a business coach. I'm kind of struggling. I might need some help. I'd love to jump on a call. You're quick with it. You're on top of it, and you're connecting with them. All of these things help you close a lead and make them a client or a purchaser. And you're focused on their needs too. So we want to pinpoint what those needs are, which we already have. That's why you're here. That's what the value you have to offer is. You've already pinpointed their need. So now you need to reiterate that. Well, this is where we can fill in the gap for you. And so that's how we close them. Next, we're going to impress. we always want to impress. We always want to go above and beyond. So the client, they see the need for what you have to offer, and we want to turn them into the champion. They're somebody who is going to tell everyone that they need your product, that they need your service. And we do that through communication. Really, really staying on top of communication is so important. If somebody generates interest, if somebody's emailing you or connecting with you about working with you or about customer support, a problem, an issue, your communication being on top of it, and being quick it makes an impact. And you don't think that it would, but it does. Next, the deliverables. So this goes back to having a good product or service. When you have a good product or service, they're going to be impressed with it. Obviously, not everyone is your ideal audience. Not everyone is going to love everything that you do. But the overwhelming majority of people that work with you or that purchase from you should have a good experience. And so that's why you can have great marketing, you can have a great lead funnel, but it will stop here. And it'll slow down the rest of the process if we don't have a good product or service or communication or things like that. You want to remain consistent. So this is important, consistency across the board. If Maddie got a Skims product and the sizing ran small, and then I ordered the same size and it ran big, and then the seams were different and the straps were different, that inconsistency will drive people away. They'll think that you don't care about the product, or your service. So it's important for service-based businesses as well to remain consistent with what you're offering, and the level at which you're offering it to. So if you're saying it's going to be this high value thing, it should be that high value time and time again. It should be exactly what you're telling them it's going to be. Surveys, so really asking your clients or purchasers how you did. This is a great way to understand where you could be better. This also makes your client or purchasers feel like you care about their opinion, about their thoughts, about how they feel about the brand. People love to feel like they're a part of something. And so if they feel like they're a part of the process for your brand or your business development, then that makes them feel special, and it makes them feel connected with you and your brand. And then just smart content, really utilizing your content in a way that supports them. So by this, we mean high value content. By this, we mean sharing their testimonials, showing them love, all of these different things that you are going to utilize to then make them feel like they're a part of your business, a part of your brand, but also make them understand why they should come back time and time again. So this is how they become that champion of your brand and a referral source. So when I say a champion, this means that Maddie's going to go tell everybody every skin product that she loves and why she loves it. And then I'm going to go to the Skim site because she said, I need this bodysuit, and I'm going to go through it. I'm going to find it. And she just restarted that funnel for Skims rather than Skims having to go through the process of getting me as an email subscriber and doing all of this, and it shortens the time frame. So that is going through the entire process. We'll dive into some marketing tactics and some marketing platforms and things like that. But do we have any questions thus far? Or does it all make sense? Anybody? Okay, great. Well, that must mean I'm doing a good job. Or you guys are so overwhelmed you don't have a question. So please let me know if that is the case. Okay, perfect. Super clear. Thank you. Alrighty, so thinking through the marketing channels. So there's a lot of different ways to market your business. There's so many different things out there. Social media in itself, you have a wide variety within that. So this takes me back to, don't put all of your eggs in one basket. So last year, or maybe it was 2021 now, but Instagram went down for a day or something like that. And it was like the whole world was stressed and shook. And, if your business was only on Instagram, you might have lost out on a lot of money if Instagram didn't come back. It's the same thing with this potential TikTok ban. I'm not going to explain the details of it or whether or not it's actually going to happen, but we need to be prepared if something like that does happen. So if all of your audience is on TikTok and that's the only way you're generating leads, you don't have them in your newsletter, you don't have them on Instagram as well, you don't have them on wherever, then you're going to lose out on those people. So we want to have, we like to say, start with three different marketing channels to really hone in on, to have very streamlined, consistent, and clear. That way your audience is over multiple platforms, over multiple marketing channels. So if one thing happens because we don't own our Instagram, we don't own our TikTok, it's all reliant on somebody else or another community, then we still have an audience. We still have warm leads, right? So starting with three, pick three where you think your audience is at the most, right? So if they're for sure on Instagram, they should for sure be in their email, and maybe they are following a lot of influencers. Maybe they rely on influencers that they watch on YouTube and TikTok and whatever. They follow them across all channels. So maybe an influencer marketing could be great for you. Or maybe an affiliate marketing works. And that's a great way to generate new income and have people be a part of your brand. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but I always recommend email. If you're starting out with a few, I always recommend having an email marketing. I always recommend being on a social media platform if that's where your audience is. And SEO should always be a part of it. Doesn't necessarily mean blogging, but optimizing your business's profiles, your website with all of these keywords that people will use to search up. Because if we're optimized there and we're really honed in on what they're searching, it's a great way for people to find you organically. So those are my suggestions for people just starting out, but always do the research on your own community and your own target audience, because it might look a little bit different than what I'm telling you right now. It's different for everyone, but those are typically the ones I recommend. So those are all the different marketing channels. Start with three, so you don't overwhelm yourself, and then you can fold in additional ones once you're really streamlined, because if you spread yourself too thin, you're going to be inconsistent everywhere, and that's not going to help you. Cool. All right. So like I said, at the beginning, I'm going to give you a little insight as to how we kind of walk through the lead generation process for our own business, and kind of give you those examples as well. So back to who we are and what we do. So the Forward Female, we help women start and grow businesses. We are a one-stop shop, start and grow a business with accountability, community, strategy, and implementation. So this is what we do and a little bit of how we do it too. So this is how we kind of show our value initially to our audience. Okay. Then we have three pillars to our business, that is our three pillars of revenue, I should say. So one is our digital community, two is our one-on-one coaching programs, and three is our creative agency services. So we have to set our objectives for each one, because they're obviously going to be different for each revenue stream. You should do this as well. So for our digital community, it's to increase our membership. Simple, easy, makes sense. Of course, we set up specific KPIs, which, if you don't know what that means, it's a key performance indicator. That's just our measure of success. So that tells us the number of members we want to get over X amount of time. But for right now, your overall objective should be simple, like this. So increase the membership. Number two, for coaching, we want to keep a booked coaching calendar. We know what that looks like on our end. We know what the numbers that we want to hit are, but our overall objective is to keep a booked coaching calendar. For our creative agency, it's to sign our ideal clients. So we want to be working with people who are within our ideal market, but also who are ready for those services. with what we do, we get a lot of people who are at different stages of their businesses, and we are never going to tell someone they need a website when really they don't have a business plan and they need the business plan first. So that's what we mean by sign our ideal client. Yes, we have our target audience, but also within that, somebody who's at the stage of business that's ready for a website, that's ready for outsourcing their marketing, that kind of thing. So those are our objectives. Next, we'll break down how we utilize our funnel. So from stranger to audience member, we're attracting them. So we're attracting them on social media. We are on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, TikTok, and LinkedIn, and we post there weekly, if not daily, on all of those platforms. So that is how we are generating brand awareness. That's really what all of this is. It's brand awareness, getting people to know that we exist. So next is blogging. We have a blog on our website. This is a great way to show our expertise to people who land on our website. This is also a great way to utilize SEO, search engine optimization. This is those keywords that I was mentioning. And this is important on your website. This is important within your blogs and all of your social channels. Everything is becoming a search engine. TikTok is a search engine now. It gives you suggested searches. So we want to be playing into that, knowing what people would search up, they would type into the search bar for you to come up. What would they be looking for? What's the pain point they want to learn about, or they want help with? And you should show up when they're searching that up. Networking is another way that we generate brand awareness. We have in-person events, we have online events, we do partnerships and collaborations with other brands, and then we do outreach. So like I said earlier, you don't want to rely on everyone coming to you, and that would just be amazing, but it's just not how it works. So really doing the work, doing the research, and knowing who would be who is in your ideal audience, who would be your ideal client, and then doing that outreach. That can come in many different forms. So that's kind of dependent on where your audience is, but doing that outreach, making that first step toward them rather than waiting for them to make the step towards you. Open webinars, so a workshop like this one that's totally free and packed with as much value as we can for 1 hour to A, show you our value, but B, you might not have known who we were yesterday or before you saw us on Eventbrite or out on Instagram, and so now you know a little bit about the Forward Female and what we do. And then media placements, so a few places we've been featured: Goop, Hello Alice, Forbes. So if you can get media placements, that's also a great way to tap into new audiences. This can also look like working with influencers too, depending on your marketing channels that you choose and your business model. So next, how we convert an audience member to a warm lead. So utilizing calls to action. If you go to our social media, if you go to our website, you'll find all of these calls to action. We encourage people to sign up to our newsletter, to follow us on multiple platforms. On our website, you can see to book a call, to learn more, to contact us. So all of those are calls to action. If you go to our stories, I shared one yesterday about joining this very workshop. Forums, so we have contact forms if people are interested in working with us. If you go to our website and you click on contact, you can fill out a form and let us know what you're interested in or need help with. Questionnaires and surveys. We ask our clients, we ask our members and other people to fill out different questionnaires. We even utilize Instagram stories as a form of questionnaire to understand what people want to learn more about, what people want to see more of from us. So even that can be considered like a form. Landing pages, so our website, our Instagram, social media, our Linktree, and they all have calls to action on them. So we're telling them, here's what we do, here's the action that you can then take to learn more about us, to work with us, to whatever the case may be, to sign up to our newsletter, to get more tips, to gain resources, all of these different things. And then freebies, we do giveaways. We have templates that we give away. We also sell templates too. We have different deals that we offer. within our community, but also within just for everyone, different deals that we share to kind of bring people in and say, hey, like you should stick around because you're already kind of interested in what we're doing. So that's how we convert an audience member to a lead. Then this is where we close. So our CRM, that's client relationship management, clear communication, and a nurtured relationship. So staying on top of your communication, really following up, checking in, all of those different things. We utilize HoneyBook for all of this. Just so you know, it's a great platform. And it has everything you need in it too. So proposals, contracts, you can create a brochure that outlines everything that you have to offer. Next we have emails, so executing well, delivering on promises, and outline scope of work. So showing kind of like the proof in the pudding of this is what we've done for clients in the past. This is what we can promise you for our deliverables, and you're already showing that with your communication and how you're outlining and detailing everything. You want to make sure you're giving them that information that we had talked about at the beginning. What information do they need to make a decision? We want to make sure we're giving them that information in the step so that that lead signs the contract or purchases the product and becomes a client. Then workflows, seamless onboarding process, seamless process from the start. So for us, it would be from the time that you have a call with us to the time you get the proposal to the follow-up. All of that is streamlined. It's not weeks and weeks in between. You don't feel forgotten about by us. You know that we're explaining everything thoroughly. We're telling you what the deliverables will be, and then we're showing you here's everything that we'll do for you for your project type of thing. So having these workflows built out ahead of time in the back end of your business is really important because this is what will set you up for success when you're closing a lead. Next, you want to focus in on their needs. So how we do that is hitting on their pain points. So you're struggling to grow your business. You don't have a business plan. You don't have a website. You don't know how to market your business. You're not sure where you should show up. All of these different things, we fill in the gap. And if we can't fill in the gap, we're honest about that. But our goal is to be the one-stop shop. So the likelihood, if you are a business owner coming to us with any of these needs, we are able to fill in that gap for you. And then we want to impress. Always want to impress. And so how we do that is clear, consistent, and kind communication with everything that we do. We always want to be kind because you never know what anyone else is going through. We know it's business, so always being kind and putting that forward. And then quick responses too, not going more than 24 hours in between communication. That's how you impress. That's how you keep people wanting to work with you. Deliverables, like I said, executing well, delivering on results. And we do more than check boxes here. That's just how we work. We go above and beyond for our clients because they've given us a little piece of their business and entrusted us. And we want to see them succeed. And so we're going to do what's necessary to help them get there. And that's more than just checking boxes for us. Consistency. So on all fronts, project, experience, start to finish, we have a full system in place for each area of our business, for website, for marketing, for business coaching. We have a full streamlined process that we've all built out already so that we know that they're getting a consistent experience. They're getting the same experience that their friend had with us. It's not going to be a different, oh, it was totally different. They weren't this way. They didn't respond quickly. We make sure that we treat every client and every project the same. That's how we remain consistent. And then survey, we do client happiness surveys at the end, see what we could have improved on, see what they loved, what they wish was a little bit different, that kind of thing. This just helps us tweak and improve, which we should always all be doing. Anyway, and then that's how they become a champion of our business. So the only people who don't fail, don't try. So no matter where you're at within your business, no matter if you're just starting out, if you're struggling, if you're in a great spot and you're, wherever it is, the fact that you're here today shows that you are dedicated to growing, you're dedicated to becoming a better you, becoming a better business owner, becoming a better entrepreneur, whatever it is. And failure comes with that. So don't be afraid to fail. A lot of this stuff can be trial and error. It's great if we know right up off the bat, right from the start, exactly who we're talking to, exactly what's going to work, but we don't. And with marketing, it's a lot of testing, A/B testing, trying something new, making tweaks. And so there's a lot of failure within that, but we like to say fail fast. The faster you try things, the faster you fail at them, the faster you learn and can implement what will actually work based on your findings. So don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid to not try at all. That's what you should be afraid of. So just want to give you a little inspo. This is, in case you wanted to take a picture, I just wanted to have the summary here for you so that you don't forget. This is just the quick rundown of everything we just went through from start to finish, stranger to champion. So I'll give you a sec to take a picture. And I'll also answer any questions if there's any. Any questions? My gosh, you guys are gassing me up in the comments. It's so nice. I'm glad it's all making sense. Okay, perfect. So a few things to remember is lead nurturing, timely and effective. So this is that consistency, but it's also that communication that we talked about, that quick communication. Whenever you have somebody interested in your product, your service, whatever it might be, you want to follow up immediately, because the longer you wait, the less time that you will, the less they'll be interested, is what I'm trying to say. So if you are responding quickly, they'll know that you're on top of it and they won't forget about you, basically. You want to create amazing offers for all different stages of the buying cycle. So obviously you're going to know your audience a little bit different. You have a target audience for a reason. And so you know probably their purchasing power and kind of where they fall into that. But it's great to have offers at all different stages. So if somebody is needing help or is in this bracket, you have something for them. This bracket, you have something for them. And this bracket, you have something for them as well. Just kind of creates that variety, and it also ensures that you can really touch on all areas of your audience too. You want to keep your messaging consistent and deliver on all of your promises. Consistency is so key. I've mentioned it several times, but that it's so important. It matters for your leads, it matters for your clients, and it matters in terms of keeping people interested, but also for that brand awareness factor. You see a Nike check, you know what it is, it's consistent, they've never changed it. So, or the Starbucks logo, that kind of thing. So creating that brand awareness comes from consistency, also consistency in the experience you have to offer. And then most business to business leads come from referrals. So if you are offering a service, you want to absolutely knock it out of the park for your clients, because they're going to go and tell their friends who are doing similar things to them as them that they need to work with you. And so that word of mouth, that referral is huge. So you want to make sure you are killing it. Okay. So just a few things to remember when it comes to lead generation.